You're a targeted individual. You're aware that your home and phone is bugged and your email hacked. How to turn the tables. You've bought a bug detector, a radio frequency detector, and it indicates where the transmission is strongest in your home. Certain areas, the bugs may not be planted in your home behind panels and such. They may be through wall bugs or other bugs. However, bugs tend to be activated by sound, a certain threshold of sound, a certain level of sound. Keep that in mind for what I'm going to say later. Right, this is a way of teaching them, not teaching them what they get if they spy on you. Record some comments that you've made about your attackers, extremely unsavoury, as insulting as you can. Don't be angry on the recording. Just be truthful and insulting. Say negative things about them like they do about you. Preferably use the same thing over and over again so you can turn the tables and sensitise them to this. So you want it recorded, you want it on a CD or a tape. Get hold of a really cheap CD player, little portable one, or a really cheap old tape machine. Get it second hand from a junk shop or something, charity shop. And in the areas where the bug detector, the radio frequency detector indicates have got strong radio frequencies, where the bug is, get the speaker cable and have some really cheap speakers, some that somebody's giving away, or you've found, or you've got on a car boot sale or something, £1 each, £2, just don't matter. Just the equipment, it's not going to last for long anyway. But what is important is that you don't play anything at a loud volume. So you have the speakers at the points where the bug detector indicates where it's strongest. Right, every time you're in your home and you make a phone call, you play this recording of yourself insulting and abusing your attackers. Every time you have guests around, you will be using a room that doesn't indicate it's bugged. It might be bugged, but it doesn't indicate it is. And at the same time, you will play this recording of you abusing your attackers. You can make it quite long. You can make it half an hour if you want. One thing that I said before is that a lot of bugs are sound activated. So they will come on when a certain level of noise is detected, a certain decibel level. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's going to be the same level of speech. So that's how loud you want these speakers. You don't want them blaring out. You certainly do not want to disturb anybody or annoy anybody that's innocent. Even if you know the people living above or below or whatever aren't innocent, you don't want to do it. You want to do it covertly, like they do everything. So you have it just at the level of speech. Now, because these bugs, a lot of bugs, come on or send a signal to the attacker's phone when they come on, so they can ring it up and listen in. You want gaps, because what'll happen, it depends what type of bug they're using, but if the bug they're using sends them a message, it's received, the signal, they'll start listening in there and then. If they find out it's this recording, they'll just switch it off. So it's important in the recording that you are silent for, say, a minute or so, and then you start up again, because you want the bug switching on and off, on and off, on and off. Yeah, you want to waste their bloody time. So you do that. Yeah, you don't make it just like half an hour of insults. Have about a minute of complete silence, and then start again, so the bug switches on and off if it's controlled that way, so that they come to listen, and then it's that, they switch it off. Then a minute or two later, so you want like about a minute, 2 minutes of silence, make it different. And then a minute or so of insults, then a minute or so, but make it so that it's on every time you make a phone call. It's constant when you make a phone call. It's constantly in the background when you make 2 recordings. One where the abuse is constant, so when you make a phone call, you play that in the background. If you're phoning a friend, you can have it quite loud, let them in on it, and you can have one of the speakers near your phone in an area that isn't bugged, because your phone's going to be bugged anyway. I'll indicate how you'll be able to find out whether your phone's bugged, but assuming it is, have the recording there when you're phoning a friend or whatever, let them in on it, say, oh, what you're doing. So every time your attacker's listening on you, they'll hear this and they'll become sensitised to it, just like they've sensitised you to certain words and phrases. They'll be sensitised to that. So you'll be able to even phone utility companies and other companies and have that playing in the background. And the utility companies won't know what it is. They'll just think someone's talking in the background, but they'll be sensitised to it, your attackers. And it serves them right, doesn't it? Yeah, it serves them right. So you've got those. Another thing is, if you don't want to do that, you can use white noise. If you've got Audacity, you can generate it. Some other sequencers that you can put on your computer and other sound things can generate white noise for you, which you can then record and play in the manner I've just described. Or you can download a white noise file off the internet and just play it. What that will do is it'll make it harder for them to hear what you're saying when you're on the phone. So it's good to play white noise when you're actually speaking to somebody on the phone. If people ask what that is on the other end of the phone, tell them that, oh, the TV's gone off or something, make an excuse. So you've got a way there to get back at your attackers via doing similar things to what they do to you. Again, I must stress, do keep the levels low. Right, I said about phones, you can tell your phone's bugged because your friends or people you ring will ask you who's with you. And you'll say, nobody's here with me. They'll say they heard somebody in the background, or they heard somebody over your shoulder say something. That'll happen a couple of times, maybe more. So that's one way you know your phone's bugged. 2, there'll be an echo on the line. Not always. All these things don't have to occur all the time, but they will occur sometimes or at different times, and they are indications that your mobile phone is bugged. There'll be an echo on the line. And another way you can tell that your phone is bugged is that you may find it very difficult to hear the person you're ringing. They may sound very, very quiet, like they're on the moon or something, but they can hear you perfectly clearly. And there'll be a lot of crackling stats, even with a brand new phone. And you look at the bars, it's the signal's strong, yet it's crackling and you can't hear this person. You want to end the call because you ring them back, it's still the same. That's another indication. Another indication is that the person you're speaking to, or even yourself, can hear keys being pressed while you're on the phone. You press keys and they make beeping noises on your phone. So you'll hear that, or the other person on the line will ask you if you're pressing any keys. Now, you may have a flat phone with a screen where you have to bring up the keypad visually, and you or the person you call in will still hear all these beeping noises. So there are indications that your mobile phone is bugged. However, I must say this. There's some new surveillance powers that are available to 450, this is in the UK, public bodies, which do allow surveillance of somebody for certain reasons. The police and the councils and other civil services, hospitals, have the right to put bugs in your home and to use surveillance of your electronic communications, but they have to obtain permission. It is called the RIPA. It's on a government website, and they can apply and they can state their reasons in writing, such as they know that you've got a past offence, or that you have committed such an offence, or you have been acting odd, or they've got some sort of reason to believe you're going to do something stupid, that they can actually apply. There's certain levels of surveillance available legally to certain authorities. The police tend to have the greatest levels of surveillance. Yeah, it's the RIPA process. That's how they can, and the surveillance is up to them. They don't have to get a third person in. They can do it themselves. They can hire an apartment next door, bug you. They can follow you around on foot or whatever. And then if you make a report, they can say, obviously this is all off record, you don't know anything about it. They can say to the police or whoever that you reported them to, oh, we've applied under the RIPA Act, yeah, or the DRIPA, DRIPA or RIPA Act. We've applied to surveil this person because of such and such a reason. And they give the original reason, then all that'll be checked out and be found to be true. So they are legally able to do it. But it has to come from a public body, it can't just be a person in the street doing it. So you might want to check that out. Very concerning, isn't it? This year it went through. This year, yeah. Theresa May. So you've got those things. Okay, right, if you suspect that your email's been hacked, you'll know your email's been hacked, because when you look under recent activity, it will show certain locations that you haven't accessed your computer from, certain servers, and it will show certain days that you have not been anywhere near your computer, or you haven't been online at those times. So then you'll know it's hacked. Right, okay. The first thing you might want to do is change your password. However, a much more fun thing to do is to not let them know that you know your computer is hacked. Carry on using the same password. Create another email that you used, yeah, that you do protect until it's hacked again. But this particular one that you know is hacked, use it to create disinformation. By disinformation, I mean to lead your attackers in the opposite direction, to get them to waste their time. Make arrangements. Maybe you've got a friend who's got an email address they don't use, or maybe you could create another email address. But if they're spying on you, they will know about that. It's best to have it so it's somebody else's email from their location and their computer, so that they can access it for you. And you send emails to them and making arrangements to go and do things. After a while, they'll cotton on that you're not going to continue any of these commitments that you make via this email address. But you want to throw in the odd, when you know where they'll be. So if you know that if you go to a certain place and there's always surveillance there, you're always gang stalked there or whatever, make an arrangement to go there so they're not sure with this disinformation. Well, she did go there, or he did go to this place, but they didn't go to that one. So they're constantly not sure whether you're going to go to this place to turn up. And you can also apply for things as well, indicate interest in certain lists and certain activities that you're not interested in. Create disinformation. Lead them in as many different directions as you can. Right, okay, just some little things there. You could also put some stuff in the emails where you're reporting them. Make them afraid that you're reporting them to people, or that you've written to the Daily Mirror or things, I don't know. You just use your imagination. The main thing is you can use it to create disinformation. Okay, thank you, goodbye.